Hi guys and girls if any, Konstantin or Miyconst is speaking, and I'm going to provide some comments to the second round of Cossacks 3 tournament game between Freedom GROZNY and ImperatorRicardo. Both are good players, but I think GROZNY is slightly better one, and I'm going to provide these comments because fairly on disagreed or refused to provide any commentary during the game. Okay, so what the story is. Freedom GROZNY very easily defeated Sebi 2-2 for 9 in the first round playing as Austria, and ImperatorRicardo defeated ILRC while playing as Turkey. Well, it was a difficult win for him, but he deserved it. So, if you did not see the games, please just check out other videos of Color Fate and you will find all of them. And I remind you that by the rules of the tournament, the players are not allowed to use same nation more than one time. So Turkey is disabled for ImperatorRicardo and Austria is disabled for GROZNY. Well, this time both of them selected Ukraine, and it's fair, and it will be mirror nation game, and let's see how it proceeds. Honestly, I did not yet see the game, but I know who won, who lost. Well, let's see how it goes. Apparently someone has a wooden PC, so the loading textures taking some time, but it's okay, we can wait for it. Also, I remind you the rules that in the first round of tournament we have a knockout system with a single game between two players, and in the second round of tournament we have best of 3. Means which player of 2 will first win 2 games, that one wins. So this game does not decide anything yet, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe some of the players will refuse to keep playing and just give up. That would be pretty sad. And we can see here that because of some delay or something happened, and GROZNY is immediately faster than ImperatorRicardo. There been some delay before Ricardo started building, and GROZNY already has 2 town halls, while Ricardo has only 1 town hall. I'll building second one. Story halls there, and I believe it's market, or it's blacksmith. Yes, blacksmith and market. Yes, Ricardo is a very good player, and he likes to play as Turkey, as Algeria, and as Ukraine. But I think his favorite nation would be Turkey. Ukraine would be his second choice, and GROZNY is a very strong player overall, and he's playing any nation very good. I would not like to meet him in any tournament game because it's practically a loss for me. With Ricardo, I can maybe win, maybe lost some game, probably lost more of the games, but still I have a chance to win. Against GROZNY I have no chances. Let's back to game. Ricardo now has 3 town halls and 1 barrack. What else? I think its second barracks is currently under construction, while GROZNY has only 2 town halls, a couple of mines, and academy. Yes, and the barracks. Also a mail, of course. You can't build a market without a mail. Ukraine has a very unique feature. It's the only nation where you cannot capture peasants. But this feature does not make any sense in current games, because we play without capture, and because both of the nations are the same. Usually when you capture a peasant of a different nation, you will try to get town halls and barracks, so you increase your dwelling, while when you have like mirrors, it does not work. So we see that ImperatorRicardo immediately proceeds to Academy, which is not a surprise because Academy is very important building and you have to make some upgrades immediately. But from the points we can see that GROZNY is slightly leading. I'm not sure if it's because GROZNY is a better player or because he had some faster start. It was some strange delay for Ricardo. He was not starting buildings for whatever reason, maybe computer delay or whatever. But we can see now that after Ricardo built a couple of mines, now he's leading in the points, while GROZNY is harvesting stone and wood. That's actually okay. So what we see in statistics, it was pretty fast, but I've seen that GROZNY had a stone upgrade, and that's logical because when you go for stone, guys, I'm sorry, it was not stone upgrade, it was wood upgrade. And when you go for wood, you obviously need wood. Well, now we see black screen. That was very interesting, like black square of Malevich. All three downholes of Ricardo is producing nice Ukrainian peasants, which can actually be used like infantry units. But some of the peasants are just staying there and waiting for a free spot of stone to get some stone, while GROZNY harvesting wood instead of stone. And it might make sense, because Ukraine is a very unique nation, and most of the buildings require lots of stone, and not that... Damn it, I'm sorry. It requires lots of wood, and not lots of stone. So, if you produce stone, most of the stone will be sold for wood, and most of the time you will sell wood at a low price, and price would be less than 2 to 1, so it makes more sense to actually get wood instead of stone and to not trade. But I'm not as advanced as GROZNY, and I usually still play through stone, but we'll see. So finally I think there is a first table for Ricardo. And color feed is again playing with settings instead of showing our stats, and we see that GROZNY has all three major upgrades: wood production up by 100%, stone production up by 100%, and stone production up for 200%, while Ricardo has only one stone upgrade. This is a big downside of starting the game with 3 downholes compared to 2 downholes. But with the good players and with correct gameplay, the amount of peasants in future will bring more benefit than the faster upgrades. Because if you get a faster upgrade and less peasants, it does not really make much difference. But with the more peasants and no upgrades, you will produce about the same amount of resources, and once you get your upgrades, you have more peasants, and then you're starting to get more resources than your opponent. That's why I prefer 3 town hall start, or at least 2 town hall starts. Some players are playing through extremely fast stone upgrade and starting with only 1 town hall and proceeding to academy immediately and getting the stone upgrade, and then building 2nd, 3rd, and probably 4th town hall. Not in this case though. So Ricardo is probably going to investigate his land and looking for some mines, while GROZNY is basically staying at the same place, harvesting resources, building mines, and collecting the army of Ukrainian Serdukes. Ukrainian Serdukes is very unique unit. It's available immediately from 17th century, and that makes sense because Ukraine does not have 18th century. And it's not that powerful as any musketeer of European nation of 18th century, but the key feature here is that you can start produce Serdukes from the early game and you don't have to advance into 18th century and build the expensive 18th century barracks. And the other side is that you might have much more barracks for Serdukes compared to 18th century. So good players with Ukraine might easily wipe out a European nation at 30 minutes peacetime. But when we have Ukraine versus Ukraine, it's equal and it's basically pure. Which player has better economy, better tactics? We'll see how it goes. One huge downside of Ukraine is there is no meat units. Okay, Ricardo finally has got his second stone upgrade, but it was really late. He spent almost half of peacetime to get the second stone upgrade. I don't know, maybe he got terrible market deals, but there is only one player, GROZNY, who is trading on market, so it should not be a problem to get good deals. Yeah, so I was saying that Ukraine does not have any meat units. What I mean by meat units, it's like pikemen, or Randashiers, or light infantry, or archers. These units do not deal any damage, but they accept the damage of enemy range units like dragoons, musketeers, and Serdukes. When people are playing with the diplomatic center, usually they will start to hire Randashiers from the early game, and then mix them up together with the Serdukes and attack in this way. Otherwise, Serdukes are very weak to siege Cossacks attacks before they fully upgraded. And Serduk versus Serduk, they will just shoot each other, and who has more of them, who has more upgraded them, that will win, and that's easy. And in our current game we do not have diplomatic centers, so there basically will be fight between two type of units, only Serdukes and the Strovy Cossack. Sorry for my Russian if that was not correct, I'm more used to speak Ukrainian. Okay, so in this case I prefer to build more town halls and produce mana peasants and use the peasants itself as meat units, because peasants can protect Serdukes from close range units, and they can also absorb some shooting damage from Serdukes, and basically that's it. They can also stand a small fight against the Strovy Cossacks. I don't know why both Ricardo and GROZNY going for Strovy Cossacks instead of siege Cossacks. The siege Cossacks, they require gold, and they have a slightly slower recruitment speed, but they have a speed advantage, and when they fully upgraded, they are very strong, and you can harass the base and make some nice maneuvers attacking enemy Serdukes while they are busy shooting your Serdukes. But we'll see how it goes. If they think it's better to use Strovy Cossacks, it's fine. It's also a very good unit and it does not require any gold. It's the only unit of Ukraine which does not require any gold, actually. Yeah, so here we can see that Colorfit explains why we do not have commentary during the gameplay, and I have to make the comments later, because Forleon was such kind person and he just refused to make comments, while he agreed to make comments before the tournament started. Ricardo is trying to get here, use of the hail and cover his units, expecting GROZNY to attack, but I'm more than sure that GROZNY is smart enough not to go and just kill all of his units. Unfortunately, I can't click and check how many stables and how many barracks both of the players have, and color feed does not show that and does not check it. Instead, he's playing with game settings, and now we see a bunch of upgrades from GROZNY. He made the blacksmith upgrade for double speed of cavalry recruitment, and the construction speed upgrade. It's worth to mention that construction speed upgrade for Ukraine is very cheap. I think it's under 2000 gold, while it's 9500 gold or something for every other nation. So it's very useful to get the construction speed upgrade for Ukraine, especially when you're playing full-on peacetime games and how to save every possible minute of your peasants' work. And I also seen that GROZNY has made the second cathedral and will produce some monks out of the cathedral, and these monks will try to heal Serdukes, but most likely they will fail because one shot of a Serduke will kill another Serduke and there is no one left to heal. But at least they may try to observe some shots from Serdukes and save their Serdukes this way. For some reason, Ricardo forget to send his peasants to other stone locations, and they are just crawling in some place. Yeah, there is plenty of stone available on Ricardo's place and on neutral territory, but Ricardo is just not getting it. I think it's just not a good Ricardo we see currently. Usually he plays good, especially when he's playing against color fit, and for whatever reason he's going for shooting speed upgrade instead of the blacksmith upgrade of cavalry. So that's a bit unexpected. Maybe his tactics, but I believe it's just a mistake. And color feed is being very nice here, showing us an empty land with a bunch of peasants and a mine. And again, we see that not all of the peasants are working, while all of the peasants of GROZNY are working and gathering some resources, which are wood, stone, and I believe food. And GROZNY not even getting all of the mines, because Serdukes do not consume that much of iron when shooting, compared to mercenary dragons, which consume insane amounts of iron and coal while shooting. So if we just look at the minimap, we see that GROZNY almost got half of his territory with his color, while ImperatorRicardo is just a small piece altogether, and that's not good. It might be good or bad depending on situation, but I believe in current situation it's bad. So let's take a look at the statistics. And Ricardo actually got the blacksmith upgrade for cavalry, so I'm sorry for saying that he did not get it. But by the resources production, we see that GROZNY has higher stone production, and he also got 200,000 of wood, which is very noticeable. Ricardo would probably have to sell like 400,000 of stone to buy 200,000 of wood. But we'll see how it goes. And by points, GROZNY is obviously leading. He has more units, he has more buildings, he has more resources. But I hope Ricardo will be able to give a hell of a fight for GROZNY. Actually, GROZNY considered to be one of the favorites for the winner of the tournament. Another one probably will be Sanyok. Sanyok had played a very nice game with Petro and won the game. Basically, he won second and third game while lost the first game. It was very nice game. If you did not see it, please go and watch. It was very interesting games to see, and I was a little bit upset that Petro lost, but I have nothing against Sanyok. He's very good player, and we're getting games to determine who is better player, so apparently he's just a better player. Now let's back to GROZNY. He's keep producing his cavalry units, and I think his Sheraton dwellings, so he's building the houses all over the place, and for whatever reason there was an empty gold mine. I have no idea how you can place a gold mine. Let's check out the statistics once again. So 1,000,000.2 stone production for Ricardo and 1,000,000.5 stone production for GROZNY. And we have to keep in mind that GROZNY also has the wood production and the food production. So GROZNY is obviously leading with resources and leading with a substantial margin. It's good for him, bad for Ricardo. I see here like an enormous amount of free strawberry Cossacks. So now we are looking at a nice border between two players. There is no fights yet because 1 minute peacetime left, but the players are getting prepared. I don't know why Ricardo get off the hill. He's okay, so both of them are researching the balloon. Now they can see each other, and Ricardo has also researched all of the firepower and fire rate upgrades, while GROZNY will research them very shortly, if not before the peacetime, but before the fight for sure. And if I would play Ricardo, I would probably just stay on the hill and try to defend myself, but I think that would not save him either, because GROZNY would just go other direction and get into his base and destroy the base, and that would be probably the end of the game. I've seen some YouTubers making comparison between pikemen with monks and pikemen without monks, and how many monks extra needed to reduce amount of pikes and still win a local battle. But as I think about the main purpose of the monks out of the cathedrals is not to heal your units, because most likely you will meet up with ranged units which would kill your units with one shot, and there is no one left to heal. But the monks are getting one shot to get killed, so it's one more Duke saved. And whatever the price for the monks is, if you're able to get to cathedral and produce monks, if Ricardo is smart, he would attack now. I think Color Fade is referring to the fact that Ricardo has made all of the fire power and fire rate upgrades, while GROZNY has no upgrades yet. But there is no way Ricardo could know these, and I think if Ricardo would advance to GROZNY, GROZNY would just go back into his base, finish with the upgrades, and then fight back. And that would be the end, but still, Ricardo here is missing a nice moment. But we all are smart after the fight. While you're in the fight, the only right decision is the decision which are taken by the players. So, In this case, it's most likely that GROZNY's decision was more correct than Ricardo's decision. Let's go back to statistics. Okay, so you see that GROZNY is starting to get the fire upgrades. And color fit reminding the players that we have a limit of 1 hour gameplay. If by 1 hour players are not starting to fight, color fit will require them to go out to field and fight. And if someone refuses, then the player which refused will declare the loser. That's why probably Ricardo was just trying to find some time and waiting, but perhaps he just lost some valuable minutes while GROZNY was making the upgrade for surgery. And because GROZNY waited firepower and fire rate upgrade, he was able to build much more cables and get much more cavalry units. Here we can see that the cavalry units just killing the poor surgeons. Huge number of Dukes of GROZNY are left, and this is probably GG for Ricardo. GROZNY could just advance to base of GROZNY and there is no protectors left. So now Ricardo is trying to be smart and getting on top of the hill, but that's over, and he admits it. Okay, so apparently Ricardo was hungry or what E4. I thought he was gonna go now, but apparently it was something else. But anyway, for whatever reason, GROZNY is not getting into the base, just building nice formations out of his Cossacks and the Serdukes. That's funny. And you can see how many monks are following Serdukes. Well, I think Ricardo does not have a cathedral. That's a big mistake. These monks, each of them could save the same number of Serdukes if they are following Serdukes and participating in the shooting battle. Now the peasants are going to really come out, but they have no chance against Serdukes. And the economy of Ricardo is destroyed. Yes, it's over, but Ricardo will still try to show something with the last invasion of the Serdukes staying on the hill. But I think it will be no problem for GROZNY to advance with his cavalry, covering up like Serdukes and just take out all the units from the hill. I think Ricardo was a little bit distracted by something, because usually he's playing very well by Ukraine, and in this game he made some significant mistakes. But I'm not the one to judge, it's only my opinion. And maybe if it would be me instead of GROZNY, Ricardo would have won. But unfortunately for him, he's facing GROZNY, not me. Once again, I remind you that this is a mini match with a knockout round in a tournament, and the players have to win at least 2 games to proceed to the round 3. So the first game won GROZNY. We'll see what will happen in the second game. If Ricardo can take a revenge, he still has a chance. But if Ricardo loses the second game, it's over for him. So here we can see that how important the hail is. The fire range of the unit staying on the hail is much longer compared to the units which are coming to the hail. So a small number of Serduks staying on the hill, we are able to shoot out a huge, well, not that huge, but a big division of GROZNY and Serduks. Anyway, it's just wasting of time because Ricardo will not be able to recover from these losses, and although they play without capture, he is not able to get use of any of his buildings because he is surrounded by cavalry units of GROZNY. It would be nice to see how much are the historic Cossacks are upgraded by both players, but unfortunately Call of Duty did not check that, because that might play also a huge role in the melee combat between Cossacks from GROZNY and Ricardo. For me, it seemed like GROZNY has more upgrades, and his Cossacks were stronger than Cossacks from Ricardo. Well, the only chance in here is how Colorfit pointing out is to making hetmans inside the stables, but I don't think it will save him anyway, and hetmans also require some upgrades before they get their power, and I'm not sure that Ricardo still has the resources to make the upgrades, and I think Ricardo just gave up on trying to make something and just waiting for GROZNY to take off his last division staying on the hill. And we can actually see the gaps, but probably they are not upgraded because they are dying instantly. And Color Fate is starting to ask them to finish because it's really boring and there is nothing to comment anymore. Basically poor gatements of Ricardo, just getting out, killing a couple of Cossacks and dying. So looks like now Ricardo has updated his hetmans and they are not dying instantly. Yeah, GROZNY is complaining about the hill, but well, there is too small division to complain about. You could take all of them easily. Yes, and Ricardo confirms that it's less than 80 Serduks and less than 50 registered Cossacks. Okay, I think I stopped commenting here, and I think the video could also be ended up here, but it's up to Color Feed, included or excluded from the video.